All right, so I wanted to talk 6 months review of being on the property, what I've taken on as projects, and where I felt lacking at, and what I felt has gone well, and how I felt the balance was kind of with life, right? So I'm gonna start at the barn. You can see it from the old videos, but the barn right here was nothing more than a slab and frame, basically. And so I've metaled roof, metal paneled all the way around, sheathing all the way around. On the inside, I've run wire insulated and sheetrocked and joined probably 60% of that on the inside. I still don't have power or water over to it, which is going to be this next the next goal, because that'll be imperative to get that to then get the mini split in there. But the other part about it is I haven't finished garage door yet. Number one, it's expensive, and I've had other things come up. So the garage door is probably the priority to get done on it next. So the second thing was I'll call it temporary coop that I built here, which was out of necessity. So let me make that number one. Number two, that will come down this year. This shed that was existing next to it, which is pretty new, I'm going to convert into a full coop. It'll house more chickens. I'll end up extending the run on it to something like this. That's not now though, so I'm not going to put it for now. But that's going to end up being the main coop. So, fruit trees. So, I did right away get 4 apple trees. And the road on this, or the driveway, kind of runs like that. And peach, plum. So I did get 8 fruit trees, but based on the drainage of the property that I didn't count on, I drowned both those plum trees. So right now I only have those 6 trees, but they're all doing great. The plan probably going forward is to be looking at a spot in here to expand that orchard a little bit, and that's probably what I'll do in the spring. So there's the fruit trees. The garden, which roughly runs, and none of this is to scale-ish like that. Again, it was put in haste. It wasn't how I would normally work it. I've made improvements throughout the year. That's been the biggest, that and the barn have been my biggest kind of banes of my existence. Just because it's just so many tasks to get through, and some of the things doing it by yourself, it just takes longer. But that's in, and I got a fall garden in now. Down this side is, perennial with asparagus. So I've at least got the perennial started with asparagus as well. And we'll work to start the garlic up this year too. So overall like happy with the location. You know, the plan I'm not going to draw on here is to get 2 cisterns off the backside with box gutters, that then I can get a pump to that supplies all the water for the garden. So the next thing, the grapes. So I was able to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 muscadine grapes, and they're back and they're on a stick right now. You know, again, pretty easy, just getting them in the ground to get them started, right? Because it's all time. You know, the fruit trees, the perennial, the grapevines, it's time, right? And so they're at least in and started. Likely that's probably all I'm going to put in of those because they're pretty prolific producers. So there's the grapes. And then the other project, which I had no freaking idea about, was bees, right? And so I've got the bees in out in the back, and you know, that's been a little bit of a journey, kind of learning and keeping up with, and what's too much contact, what's not enough contact. I probably have been on the side of not enough contact with that. But you know, let's look at, you know, these things. How much did I take on, and was it right? Was it too much? Was it just a mile wide with everything I have going on coming onto a new place, right? And this is where this is where I'm kind of, it's funny, I'm at a dichotomy internally with this, because I feel like there are days I could have done so much more and felt like a lazy piece of shit. But then, I mean, there are days that I'm drenched in sweat, roofing or paneling, you know, that garage, or on the inside running wire, or you know, or the third or fourth rendition of a chicken coop, right? I mean, that, I think if there's one thing that I would have probably wished I would have taken back, it would have been to have identified that shed as the coop and converted it and set that in the beginning versus what I ended up coming to, because that wasn't the plan. It just makes sense after all the room that I have in that barn space. I don't need that other shed, so why don't I purpose it to, you know, to something that I can expand into if I really want to, and I do. I want to double my chickens next year, and then add another 8 the year after. And so, I mean, I wish that would have changed. You know, a little bit more planning time on the drainage of the property. I thought I had a handle on it, so I wouldn't say I didn't plan for it, but I didn't realize where the water was really going to hold in the spring, and that spot where the plums are at. I mean, I basically just drowned these plums, so that would have, you know, a little bit better eye on it. You know, the interesting thing with this property is that there's a pretty big pond over here-ish. And the larger landowner, before this stuff was sold, had bermed this land in certain spots to direct the water down to these. There's actually a couple ponds. And so, you know, I had an assumption going in that drainage then, would go pretty quickly past, and that just wasn't the case. I don't think I took on too many things. I think I was more lazy and could have got more done. But I think I'm always going to think that of myself. If I decide now not to go out and pick what's in the garden tonight and maybe spray foam some of the cracks that I'm doing right now as I'm touching up in the garage. If I don't do that tonight, I feel like I was a lazy piece of shit today. And even though I did a ton of stuff today, right? I think I just always feel that way because that's just who I am. So, all in all, I think that it's been a good setup 6 months. I'm really looking forward to getting the garlic, both the hard neck and soft neck, established in the beds that I'm going to run them in late October. Because I think, having that success again will really help like my psyche. But I'm going to have to step it up with the bees a little bit. I am considering moving them to here. Because I think that one of the reasons why I didn't do as much with them was because of the distance back there. Really, and this drawing sucks to scale because, it really sucks to scale, but let's put those there. Because really, if you see some of the videos, here back is completely untouched. Like, it's pasture that's been growing for who knows how long. And I haven't done anything with it except for run that dirt bike trail or the 4-wheel trail for the boys that runs like this and comes this way and back around. And then I've got a little loop out here to go to the bees. I am contemplating moving the bees this fall, but I'm very hesitant to do it because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I'm still trying to find a local mentor. There is somebody down the road, a couple of miles. I've seen they have 6 beehives out there. Another guy down here to the west has 6 or 8 down there. And I have considered like cold knocking and being like, hey, I'm getting into this. Can you like lay some wisdom down on me? Come check my stuff out. Like, how fucked up am I? But overall, I would say more than marginally successful is my grade. So if I was going to grade this to look back at it again, I'm going to give myself a C+. So we'll see what the next 6 months gives us. And let me know your thoughts and questions on this. I'm really interested in hearing people's opinions. Even if you're doing it yourself, like what have been your challenges? So have a great rest of your Sunday and appreciate all you.